The fence-perching TikTok Clownbooby, Evasivus egotisticus schmoozeri, also known as the bearded fence-perching Clownbooby, Canadian Parliament Clowntit, and smooth talker TikToker, and several other endearing names. The fence-perching TikTok Clownbooby, as with all fence-perching boobies, can easily be identified by their evasive, unclear song and actions. The TikTok Clowntit instinctively practices what's known as avian cranial reclamation. They cannot control this, and it is blatantly obvious even to many beginner bird enthusiasts. All clownboobies are cavity-nesting birds, but cranial reclamation is for other reasons. Perhaps this practice is used to protect its status within the ruling flock of the top flockers. The crest or top knot of the clowntit may change color at any time, day or night. It is thought that this may be due to mood changes, diet, or to signal an intent, and may even be for indicating an upcoming virtuous song. It is not believed that this changing of color correlates with the breeding season. They utilize the "look over there while I'll do this" tactic, while simultaneously remaining totally uncommitted to any definitive decision for which could affect their housing, food source, and any future seed allotment in their golden plumage years. Fence-perching boobies vary greatly in size, shape, and plumage. The Canadian TikTok Clowntit variety of clownbooby is really no different than other clownboobies within this political bird species in regards to its agenda. What is astonishing about the TikTok Clowntit is that somehow this bird has been put in a position of power, allowing it to affect the Canadian tax-paying flock of hardworking, honest birds. It went from TikTok to taxing. That should be a screaming red flag for the future of all of us little birds in this world. If this clownbooby was able to pull it off, we are in deep bird poop, and there just isn't enough paper to line the cage. These boobies can be as slick and evasive as a lawyer-gone activist on social media, targeting inexperienced birds for self-promotion and progressive socialist ideologies. They avoid the experienced, rational, and grown-up adult birds like the avian flu. The TikTok Clowntit is also called the smooth talker TikToker for a reason. It has developed an acting skill to achieve its goal. These skills are found throughout the politybird world and can sometimes be just a tad bit overdramatic. They can be arrogant and egotistical, of course. That is almost mandatory for all politybirds. Clownboobies in general may not be as deceitful as pompous peckers, but could easily go down that flyway. They lack intestinal fortitude when making decisions for the good of its own home range. They consider those that feed them to be dumb and honestly have no idea just how many people can see it. Fence-perching clownboobies are not dumb birds, though many bird watchers consider them incompetent due to their indecisive actions. Riding the fence, fence-perching, fence-sitting, crap, or get off the pot are just a few terms used by politybird watchers. Clownboobies always want the greener side of the fence. If you like clownboobies, help them out by removing the vegetation or greenery from one side of the fence. You'll see just how quickly they can make up their minds and in some cases change their plumage. This clowntit does have some similarities to the western social dumbshit lark and the attention-starved Texas buffoon tit, but nowhere near the magnitude of stupidity and overbearing obnoxiousness. When singing from a perch, clownboobies will point fingers, or their primary feathers, at others as a way to deflect or throw blame, and will surely toss in the pigmentation of one's skin and culture card, a very well-documented survival tactic that just about any breathing person should be able to recognize. The clownbooby's virtuous song is often used to save its own feathers. It can sing a good song at times, but it takes little to no action on it. Its song has the structured articulation of BS nothingness, but is substantially more friendly and smooth to the ears than the staggeringly brain-hurting, eye-spinning, inept song of the California cackling phony hen. The TikTok Clowntit's diet is similar to most politybirds, and consists mainly of money and power. They may have other sources of food coming in too. One could only imagine from whom and where. As always, just follow the birdseed trail and you'll find the source eventually. The longer they are allowed to feed unchecked, the fatter and more powerful they become. There is not yet enough data established on the nesting of the TikTok Clowntit. One could predict it with a high percentage of accuracy, though. It is not uncommon for fence-perching clownboobies to completely change their song, plumage, and whole identity to achieve their goals. Canada's clownboobies and other so-called socialist birds are no different from its U.S. or global counterparts. They all have been influenced by the same old suspect birds. But finally, some countries are making birdhouses with smaller and more rational, down-to-earth entrances to attract good birds and keep the big, bad, egregious birds out. Training and coaching make these birds appear to be something they are not. The wise bird watchers can see it a mile away. The inexperienced and gullible bird watchers out there should ask, will the real fence-perching clownbooby please stand up and show your plumage? Birders around the world are sounding the alarm. Do not feed these boobies. Happy birding.